Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A long kind of break from the regular season, but we are starting the invite playoffs for the season tonight. They will be concluding and kind of continuing this weekend, starting on Saturday, where you will see the other upper bracket round one match. But we do have our first match, the 1 seed versus the 4 seed, in an exciting kind of startup of the playoff weekend. How are you doing, TC Mono?
I am doing fantastic. I'm very excited for both this match and the weekend of TF2 we have ahead of us, like you just hinted at. It's going to be hopefully some really exciting battles to see who can come away as the first place victors in Season 16 of RGL's invite season. And we've had quite a long road to get there. Like you mentioned, it's kind of strange to think that this is still a continuation of a season that started what feels like a very long time ago. But just in case, maybe you forgot, or maybe you were focused on your own season throughout the majority of it. You didn't have a chance to catch up with what was happening in Invite. The two teams facing off tonight, Froyotech and Black Swan, are going to be your first and fourth seed, respectively, coming into this upper bracket round one, and have had kind of different paths here. Froyotech undefeated. They have been a kind of that dominant force that I would normally associate with Froyotech. Maybe not the most couple seasons. They've lost a couple here and there, but generally, when you think of Froyotech, you think of like the prime ECA days, where they just go in, they win every single map, every single round. That's been this team. And then on the other side, Black Swan, they got in 4th place pretty comfortably compared to the 5th seeded team, but they've had their struggles against everyone who's been ranked a little bit higher than them.
Yeah, Froyo just always seems to be there, and then it just takes one kind of new up-and-coming team to kind of contest them. They stay around a while, and eventually they kind of leave. And historically, there's Mix-Up, then there was the kind of Ascent group, then Witness, then G6, and maybe we'll find that kind of continuation this season. But overall, there have been some kind of shaky growing pains a couple now and then, but Froyo has looked very dominant very lately. But you can't forget the Cup, where they struggled against the Chuds, and there are some newer upstart players and some experienced people on this Black Swan roster where I think they'd be loving to at least get a map win, so they're going to leave it all on the server tonight.
Yeah, they should at least try to, as if you weren't paying attention and think this is still a regular season match. It's not. This is playoffs. So we have got a best of 3 on our hands. It's going to be a minimum of 2 maps that we're going to see tonight. First map going to be Metalworks, that was picked by Froyotech. Then you've got Snakewater, which was Black Swan's pick. And then rounding out the best of 3, if we get there, it is going to be Sultry. So a kind of running the gambit, so to speak. But in all honesty, I'd say they're all kind of slower maps, so to speak. When you look at the 5CP map pool, they're all on the bit on the slower side. But it should be very interesting to see how all of them play out, regardless.
The one thing about Metal is those mids, they are explosive. You can instantly win a mid or instantly lose a mid based on the second the middle starts, if you can get locked out or not. But definitely some slower points. Metalworks, we have that kind of mid to second stalemate. The last one's not nearly as bad, but we also have the infamous Snakewater stalemate, which if teams know how to hold that, it's gonna be really hard to break. Which Froyo definitely is a roster that will know how to hold it, and it'll be up to Black Swan if they have the protocols to kind of defend against pressure there.
No, yeah, it definitely will be maybe on Black Swan to try and do some stuff here, as I'm looking actually in the server, and someone who's really, really good at initiating from his experience on Froyotech is Jay Hunpei, and it does appear that Jay, at least for right now, is in the server. And
he's on demo.
Yeah, he's on demo, so maybe not the typical initiating role, but is definitely going to be a boon for Black Swan coming in to replace Ether. So, it's unfortunate for them that maybe they don't have their normal demo man, but if you are going to have a replacement, Jay Hunpei is definitely one of the names that you'd like to be able to get.
I think that's kind of the best person you could possibly have to replace anybody on your roster, to be honest. But Jay Demo, he definitely likes to initiate. I don't know if he'll do it in a more serious match, but the one thing about Jay is you will not have to worry about the mechanics. It's just how goofy is his demo going to be, and I don't think he's going to be a big problem in this match to to Black Swan's success. I think he'll be able to pull his weight.
Definitely should be able to pull his weight. And so, as I think we are very close to going live, get your predictions in the chat. Also, bet on who you think the victor is going to be. We don't support betting unless it's here at RGL, twitch.tv RGL, in which case we're all for it. Either way, Marmaloo, I'm going to press you for a prediction just on this map, not on the series overall. Who do you think is going to take it and by how much?
You know, I'm going to be a realist this map. I don't know how much faith I have in the Black Swan mids here. I think it's going to be some very fast mids that they may have to adapt to. I'll say a 5-1 to Froyo, and it's going to be a very quick back and forth game.
Ooh, I am going to have to basically agree with you. I think Froyotech's going to win this 5-2. I'm going to put a little bit more faith in Black Swan. I think that, you know, they get the first round because, you know, they've cooked up some type of mid and Froyotech aren't expecting it, and Froyotech are able to, you know, immediately bounce back and adapt, and then they get one more round by Jay Hunpei going for a back cap on demo, and they're not expecting it. You know what I mean?
You know,
so that's
you're calling your shot, and I respect it. If that happens, that will be the greatest moment of all time.
Well, I think we will have to see, as we are going live with the first map in RGL Season 16 Invite Playoffs, Froyotech versus Black Swan on Metalworks. Hopefully should be an exciting game, and we're going to have to see how it all unfolds on this first mid. Take it away.
Yeah, all eyes kind of on these soldiers with the fast mid. Trip instantly initiating that aggression, sacrificing all his health, but deals a lot of damage that the rest of Black Swan's not initiating that often. And the rest of Black Swan just gets pressured out by their own existence, and now they have lost this mid, and we're going to end up losing Jay, and Jay hits a pipe on Hubada, but it's, or hits a pipe on someone near Hubada, but it's not enough. And just kind of disorganized fight there. Trip gonna go for a hero play, but that is not going to work out, and it's going to look like not a great mid, but at least Foxy staying alive means they will have Ubercharge to work with on this left if they don't get bullied too hard here.
Yeah, they are getting bullied very, very hard. Froyotech have already taken so much space on last. Now they are going to get the spawners for Black Swan, so they should be able to hold on to it last. Going to go around for a fadeaway bomb. Lands on Jay Hunpei. There's going to be committal from Patty. Is going to be able to get the demo man, but both soldiers on Froyotech have gone down, and immediately Brandslam running in, sees so many weak players. Is going to get one, gets two, and it's only going to be the two soldiers left alive to defend their medic. Foxy still has that 100%. No medic has used just quite yet. Now it's only going to be Quacks. Is going to have to use the Uber. Is going to be a solo soldier. Can they get the force out from Hubada? Is going to be able to. Might be defendable. Jay Hunpei now on the respawn is going to get immediately gunned down by Brandslam. That is so unfortunate. Just stands on the point. And that's going to be Froyotech with a very, very convincing first round.
Jay is getting his pockets ran. He has died 3 times in a minute 40. They said, don't care. You're not on our team, so you are not in the server, and they've killed him 3 times straight. And let's see if he can get some more presence on the mid. I like Trip's aggression, sacrificing all her health, but no one else really follows up, and it just leads into everyone taking damage and losing the mid. And this mid's all about health and pressure, and they failed at that one. Another good bomb from Trip here, getting some damage. Hopefully the rest of the team can help out, but Trip getting cleaned up. Once again, this middle is not looking great. No, let Jay live. He's leaving underpass, maybe. Get some help from his team. It looks like he's out.
Is going to be able to get some help, but Patty almost immediately in, does get into lobby behind, so split attention for Black Swan if they want to try and hold on to this. Now is going to be back up with the rest, and that's going to be Jay Hunpei goes down again. Unfortunately, Banny this one, the one to defeat Jay, and so that is going to be player advantage in Froyotech's favor. They're going to be able to get onto second, but still like last time, Black Swan do have Uber to try and defend this last point.
But once again, Jay is not here for the initial push, which means these doors are free real estate, and we're going to see some point pressure again, which was the demise of the last hold. But Quack's trying to draw some eyes. There's so much cap time in. Darty has to stand on it. Here comes the Uber, and it is not looking great for this hold. And Banny calling a fast Uber here, popping in. Brandslam and Banny on the Uber. A lot of damage. Everyone kind of crunching it up, and it looks like we are seeing another quick round. And Black Swan, I am calling a pause, but I don't know if their heart is entirely in it at the moment.
Maybe not, as they, both times they did have Uber to defend, but like you said, Jay just not being there meant Froyotech could take so much space, and they came in with player advantage, I think both times as well, and they were just able to take an inch, or not really an inch, it was more like a yard but they stretched it out into multiple miles. So that's still going to be Froyotech 2-0. Tripwire not going to be as aggressive as she was last time. Instead, going to be playing a little bit further back over in Lunchbox Logan up on the point. And now it's going to be the Froyotech soldiers to be the ones to get aggressive here, at least initially. Going to be fading away, not committing just quite yet, but they've got so much more map control on the point. Logan with the bleed damage. Darty also going down, and once again, that's going to be Black Swan hightailing it out of here. Can they keep all these players alive? If you look at history, probably says no.
Yeah, just fundamentally, these mids are just wrong. Trip playing to get aggro and make it a really fast mid, which is always a good plan, but the rest of the team's kind of playing, and there comes a drop. And this is 3 quick ones. Unless a miracle comes out here from Darty, which I don't know if the headshot... Nope, there it does not come out. The Uber comes out, and it looks like we're getting another round. And yeah, these mids are fundamentally flawed. We're seeing Trip sacrifice all her health instantly, while the rest of the team holding S key, scared of the other team. And it's just split. Everyone's playing passive, losing the... basically just giving up the mid and hoping Froyo feeds in, but they are too drilled to not.
Yeah, so 3-0, only barely 5 minutes have passed actually on the server timer. So I don't know what the record is for the quickest playoff invite match, but this would be a strong contender for it. But still time for Black Swan to try and fix things. Tripwire takes a lot of damage, should be able to survive, and Black Swan once again playing pretty far back. Froyotech almost immediately have over half of the midpoint in their control. Last going for a huge bomb. Foxy, nice serve to try and stay alive there, but is gonna have to hightail it out of mid once again. It's gonna be player advantage for Froyotech, and immediately branch slam on the chase.
Well, Froyo picked this map, correct?
Yes.
There's some silver lining here. They didn't decide this map. We saw in a scrim log, you know, the alternative wasn't looking great. Banny going down here. Darty with a big kill might get them back into this point and back into this game if they can not get blundered by the situation. Darty kind of walked into that main door. Both scouts getting in. Hubba on an island, going to be forced to pop, but it's going to be not too bad of a trade on the side of Froyo, kind of causing some flashes. Exile trying to take a very strong Uber here, but it's not going to look like much is going to come of it. But at least we're in a nice stalemate, even everything. There's no player to sad. This is going to be a straight 6-on-6, no Ubers stalemate, which Froyo is not waiting at all.
They are not. Patty is immediately trying to bomb in, and Laz is going to come in for the commit onto Jay over on the point. Oh my god, nice rocket from him, but it's still going to result in a trade. Patty is in onto the medic. Foxy's super weak. He's going to have to back up all the way to map room and beyond as everyone else on her team falls. Now Branch Slam here on the chase. Gets in through Shutter. Just wants to immediately try and take this in. Neither team has Uber just quite yet, but Froyotech have a bit more and advantage. They cap up second immediately onto the point, just trying to get so much cap time, and they don't stand on it. That's going to be Froyotech 4-0.
Yeah, you know, let's get one on the board here. Come on, squad. I want to see a top left full send mid. You have nothing to lose. But something tells me that we're going to see the same mid where they're going to stand there, they're going to just cry, and they're going to hold S, and they're going to get blown up, and it's going to be very, very sad. But yeah, going to the mid, we are not seeing the top left mid. Trip has instantly taken every point of damage humanly possible. Here comes the counter bomb from Quacks, which is going to be an isolated incident. The rest of the team actually helping out. Guess they just don't like Trip. A pipe coming out onto Banny. A lot of damage, and honestly, probably the best mid we've seen so far. Instantly kind of getting a pick on the floor, and it's on Froyo to leave. So I guess they just don't want to follow Trip, but as soon as Quacks jumps in, the whole squad's there to help.
Well, they might have to do a bit more of Quacks initiating, because it has resulted in a mid win for them. The first in this match and the first in this series. So it's their best opportunity yet to try and get the round on the board, but the soldiers bombing in on the Fox. He's not going to help that. Nice shot coming out from Patty and Laz to get that force. Only one of them falls now. Froyotech with the counter Uber bombing in. Banny super deep. Foxy is going to have to try and back the heck out of there as Exile is down. She doesn't have her pocket scout to try and escort her out, as now a bomb from Patty is going to force the remaining combo members all the way out of mid. Froyotech just taking so much ground. A much better counter use from them.
Yeah, and they're just, every time a player from Froyo goes in, they always at least get a trade. Every time. So it's kind of hard to win fights if the only time the other team dies, you have someone else that trades out. They can never get an advantage, but Once again, in a stalemate situation, they'll have time to hopefully get Ubered before we go. I'm curious to see. Froyo did run a weird kind of push with no soldiers in house. A double soldier in. Players drop on the floor. Foxy getting double bombed and kicked off. But trades both soldiers and a demo for it. And a scout.
Trip?
So it is Habra. Just Habra. Brandslam's here to help. And they get put it down, but Brandslam has an opportunity to make a moment happen. And that moment is killing Darty and dying.
Well, you know, was able to get one of his men at the bare minimum, but a little bit of a silver lining for Black Swan is that Foxy died so much earlier, so they are going to have uber advantage, and actually capturing up the point is going to actually, I don't think they did get the back spawn, so not quite as ideal for Black Swan as it could have been, but they are going to have uber advantage if they want to try and fight this, and looks like they do want to, because the Exile immediately getting deleted is not how they wanted that to go. Foxy dead again, Jay Hunpei, it's only Darty and Tripwire alive, and they are backing out. Tripwire trying to go for a high bomb over to help out Darty, does get his man, so there you go, her man, and that is going to be a dead Tripwire, but you know, is able to get the trade, so you love to see it.
You know, Laz just did like a 182 rocket on the scout and just, nope, you're getting sync bombed just as a revenge kill. But, you know, we take those. That's one on the board. Good bombing from Quacks, but the Uber coming in from Hubba at any second now. The sniper causing a lot of pressure, which will make Froyo rethink for a couple seconds before they get their little shiny on their gun. But you're about to see an Uber through this far right side, it looks like. There is no gun, no heavy, nothing to really stop this Uber from just running into the spawn door, which we are currently seeing. Some cap time coming out. Trip trying to stall, doing a good job of living, but it's not going to mean much when the rest of the team is here to clean up, and it's going to be on Jay to make something happen, along with Quacks, which stuff is happening, but Patty coming in late. This is going to be a big bomb, and it is going to clean up the fight in a swift 5-0.
5-0 in the favor of Froyotech, mirroring what has been the majority of their season. Just kind of walking in, showing up in the server, and dominating. And
just a 9-5, you know?
Yeah, no, it really is. You know, they had their Thanksgiving break, and then they're right back at it. And it doesn't look like they've had any break whatsoever, just dismantling Black Swan. But like you said, the silver lining, the silverest of linings is that it was Froyotech's pick. So as we move on to Snakewater, this is the map that Black Swan chose, the one that they feel they have the best chance of winning versus Froyotech, and they're going to need all of those chances, all of that hope, if they want to try and take it against them, because looking at the logs, I mean, it was a 5-0, so it's going to be pretty one-sided in the favor of Froyotech, but it's very one-sided in the favor of Froyotech.
The checklist for getting 5-0 rolled in a match is everyone on your team needs to kill, and no one on the team can have a perfect game, and they satisfied both of those conditions. I say that's a successful 5-0, but obviously I don't think that's their goal at the moment or their MO, but you know, at least we have that going for us at the moment.
Yeah, at the bare minimum, like you said, everyone was able to get a kill and then make sure anyone in Froyotech had a perfect game. So, you know, it's could be worse, I guess. And you know, you also have to think that, you know, they lost the first 4 mid fights, but they were able to, I guess, adapt in the last one, so maybe they're starting to maybe get a little bit of confidence from that or something of the like. Either way, they've got to hope that their Snakewater game plan is a lot better than on Metalworks, but it is going to be tough because, like you said, Metalworks mid's very explosive, and while Snakewater can be, I guess, it can be a bit more passive, as we've kind of seen the new trend to be an invite. A lot of teams are a bit more hesitant to be the aggressors. Like, they'll play the spam game a lot longer before they insta their soldiers, but it can also be one of those mids where you're just spamming each other, then all of a sudden a bunch of chaos happens, and you just got to hope that you win your ones, win your DM fight, and win your other teammates' DM fight as well when they get killed, type of thing. So if they Black Swan have got some type of game plan coming in here, some type of slow game plan, or either aggressive, they're going to have to try and use it to its fullest capabilities against Froyotech.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like, mids like Snakewater are very cyclical. It's completely dependent on what the best teams are doing, and for the past couple seasons, the best teams have been G6 and Froyo kind of coming up with more passive rosters, not kind of the explosive all out. But with this roster, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a lot of just blank aggression because they just can. And unless a team can have really good protocols and ideas to be able to react to that, it's going to probably turn into one team stands there, the other one just runs over, in this case, Black Swan, which hopefully the big disconnect was Trip was going too fast. The one mid they won, Quacks initiated the bomb, and everyone was there. So if Trip just waits 2 seconds and they go together, good things might happen. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, if history proves correct again, good things should happen for Black Swan, which they desperately need it to be if they want to try and win this series. They lost the first map. This is the second one. Third is sultry if we get there. But even if Black Swan loses,
get there.
When I like,
When
all right,
we
you're
get
right.
there.
You're right. My bad. My bad.
You know,
when we get there,
the map picking team has not lost a round yet on their map. It hasn't happened. So, you know, why would things
true.
change?
That's
I'm
true.
expecting a big old 1-0 on the side of Black Swan. We're going to see the greatest last holds of all time, back to back to back to back.
You know, I like
That is my
actually.
prediction.
That's your prediction.
1-0 Black Swan.
Okay.
50
well,
minutes.
50 minutes. Oh my goodness.
Into a sultry game that's also 1-0 for Black Swan in an hour.
Wow. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I hope you guys have got some type of refreshment or snacks to keep you company. Because, I mean, as you did point out earlier and just right now, Snakewater can be a snooze fest. Obviously, it's not going to be a snooze fest here. This is going to be some of the most high-octane, action-packed 1-0 gameplay that you've ever did see. But it can be a little bit stalematey, especially from second to last sometimes, and if teams aren't able to really deal with the defenses, it can super slow down as they just maybe wait to go for a round reset or a last-ditch Uber trade scenario. But I am going to have to not mirror your optimism. I'm going to say it's a...
I don't know if that's optimism or depression for a 1-0. There's 50 minutes, but we'll take it.
I guess it just... I mean, but imagine it's 50 minutes and it's a Froyotech 1-0. You know what I mean? Then you're
That'd
like,
be so sad. Like I'm just calling the season at that point. I'm not showing up to our next match. Give me the penalty. I'm out of there.
Well, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a Froyotech 5-3. Be very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least they'll get their one at least, but. This first mid is going to be an entire just a mood change. If you are a team that just got 5-0'd and you get rolled instantly on the next map, your map, the vibes are in the gutters, and I don't think you can come back from that. So this is going to be entirely on who goes first and who can react better. Banny really aggro with the first stickies out. Just some easy spam. The side of Black Swan playing on that catwalk. Here comes a trip bomb straight in on a Banny. Gets the kill right away. And it's going to be all in that double bomb from Laz and Patty. Not getting too much. Patty ended up getting the kill. The trade is taking a little bit too long. And it looks like the mid win is in favor. Oh, yeah. But it's in favor of Froyotech. But not a bad mid on the side of Black Swan.
No, not a bad mid indeed. Much closer than the majority of their mids on Metalworks, except for the one that they did win. They are going to be at Uber Disset because Hubada was able to stay alive, but they are going to have a little bit of time to try and mount some type of defenses as Froyotech is only now starting to get in onto second. It's only Logan for the meantime as everyone else on Froyotech floods in through lower. Banny just placing some stickies. They're actually going to be bombing forward. Had an opportunity to be caught out by Tripwire potentially, but instead it backs out through Chi. So they're just going to be all on last as Froyotech start to try and push in.
So no gun once again. They just have a heavy standing in the spawn door at 300, and Froyo takes the spawn, takes that truck spot side. Quack's living, no cap time right away, and everyone from Black Swan kind of surviving that onslaught. And it looks like they're doing a pretty good job. Uber about to come in, big bomb from Patty coming in, and Laz hopefully just destroying the heavy. The Uber is forced out. They're gonna end up getting a couple picks, but oh, Hubada getting cleaned up by the Surf from Exile. And this is actually a very good scenario, but Brand Slam coming in with a big kill on a J late.
Yeah, super huge kill. The other demo man. Yeah, Banny is still alive, trying to set up some super sneaky traps right by the point. Is going to be cleared by Exile, so doing his diligence as a pocket scout to be able to defend his medic. But Patty is up on the spy, and this is a pretty off timing.
Oh, tripling down onto Foxy. Foxy's dead. He's just walking around. Got the pistol kill, dies immediately. Doesn't matter, they win the fight anyways, and they might just also win the round, but we'll see. Will the spawners come in time? It's not looking like it. They can spawn to get killed by those crits at the end of the round here. Let's see.
Yeah, they will, as instead they just taunt and spawn, recognizing their fate. So still gonna be a opening first round for Froyotech, but still a lot closer looking from Black Swan, even on the mids and on their last defenses. So maybe that gives them a bit of optimism. Hopefully on this second one, they'll be able to have just a tiny bit more success and be able to convert it in their favor.
I was a little nervous with the trip instant bomb onto the demo, but it worked out. So let's see a little bit of just standard positioning from both teams, standing in front of Saw, just waiting for somebody to make the gesture, either some damage, but it looks like we're going to see that more standard spam mid until something substantial happens with either just damage, someone getting caught out, but Logan kind of getting a little aggroable. Kitchens are kind of being ran by Froyo. Patty sneaking behind, and it looks like Black Swan's going to go end up trying to fight him. Some help comes from Froyo. Both teams setting 2 back, and the soldiers just trade with Brand Slam also fighting the scout. Laz somehow on the roof just chilling while these Ubers are happening, and an absolute nuke is going to come out. Hopefully Black Swan and Foxy can get out, but it's not looking too great. Oh, Darty with a big kill.
Oh, and Darty is actually going to come back in and wants to try and squeeze it with Quacks, who's in the backline, so they can coordinate this. As Quacks comes in for a bomb onto Hubbard. Hubbard, a nice surf to be able to stay alive, but Darty's going to be able to get that kill. Foxy should be able to stay alive as the soldiers come to defend her. That is going to be a Brand Slam, just staying alive for so long there, but a nice final rocket from Trip is going to clean them up.
Patty's got a good timing. Oh, it looks like Trip's going to clear it. Trip may die, but Trip has cleared the position. Patty should get cleaned up by some reinforcements here. Quack's deciding not to help after jumping down, but, you know, we're all good. Very weird mid, but we'll take it. Black Swan getting it, and this is their opportunity to kind of break through here with their Uber ad. And with Patty down, this is a really good option to try and get this for free, and they're taking a lot of ground pretty easily.
And Laz bombs in, is going to be able to get onto Jay, and now bombs in onto the Scout. Exile is going to be taken down. Banny helping find that kill, and now it's going to be another solo soldier Uber onto Quacks. Laz hiding in lower, just waiting for an arrow. A bomb comes in onto Hubbard. A Tripwire trying to chase that one down, is not going to be able to find the kill. Oh my god, if that connected. Laz and Quacks are still going to trade, however.
Yeah, that was looking good, and then Jay was standing in lower, just 40 HP, just chilling, and he dies. So Laz just walks on water, kills 3 people, lives. Well, he only dies, but, you know, he gets 3. But 50 ad on the side of Froyo. They're going to have to push into mid, so it's going to be all on Trip to kind of stall or get some spam up for Quacks to come and help. Main Saw is walked through completely cleanly. Trip is too weak to really do anything about it, so it looks like Froyo is going to take mid for free. And this Uber ad will dwindle a little bit depending on how they're feeling. They may try and rush this push.
Seems like they want to. They're all mobilizing in Saw. It's actually Brandslam the one capping it, which is a bit odd, but Logan now going to be coming in, leading with charge, and it seems like they want to try and take it, or at least turn this into a sack attempt onto the medic. Foxy might be able to stay alive, but now Patty is in. Not going to be able to hit the critical damage to get that kill or the force, and now Banny doing a lot of damage actually from window is locking Foxy off from the rest of the team. That is wild in the upper... Oh my god, Tripwire is in behind. Did do a little bit of damage onto Hubbard, but it's crazy. They were down 3 and Froyotech still hold them.
Yeah, that great milk from Foxy. The Uber trade's going to come out. A lot of damage from Quacks. Quacks hopefully will get out. There's no pack. The flash maybe comes out, but the health is bad, and they're already kind of gesturing to get out of this fight. Darty in alone. Darty doing so much damage to Laz, but it's not enough. And there goes Jay again, getting picked off. And it's not looking like a great hold here on the side of Black Swan, unless Exile has miracles, which... Actually, they're doing a good job stalling, but it's not looking good. They're going to fall apart.
They are probably going to fall apart just now. The only person up is Darty, the respawner, and that is going to be 2-0 in the favor of Froyotech. And even though it's mirroring, you know, the last game in terms of who's getting the points on the board, it's a lot closer. It is a heck of a lot closer, and we've seen Black Swan have some type of game plan on these mids as just pushing into second. They got caught out, and then once you give Froyotech an inch, they just take the whole game with it.
The game plan is to scrap it up, which let's see if they can kind of repeat that, whatever that mid, if they plan that mid out, they're just the smartest people in the world. But just a standard mid, some spam coming out, decent damage onto Banny, a double bomb coming in onto Foxy, Laz in, nobody to help, Patty getting out for free, Laz getting onto Foxy, no one cares about Foxy, I guess. We need some team counseling with these abandonments that keep happening here. But it's just Darty here. Maybe Darty can get the one for the one time. Oh,
unfortunate. Well, to be fair, Darty did get his one. He was able to take down Laz, who was on I think like a casual 4K or something. He got so many kills there, but
something light.
Yeah, something like easy work for Laz on a Wednesday afternoon. But what's easier work might be Exile taking down Brandslam with a nice headshot. This Uber from Froyotech still going to get a lot of space and a little bit of cap time. Logan standing on it, opening things up for the rest of his squad. But Uber has been spent. Now it's just going to be a straight 5v5 fight. Who has got the better focus fire? Seeming like it is going to be Black Swan as everyone on Froyotech tries to all in for the point. Logan, nice crucial shot onto Foxy. Is going to be able to get that one, but can Hubada stay alive? No, is being shot down over in lobby. A nice surf, but it's not going to be able to help Hubada escape, and that is going to be Black Swan holding on to last for the meantime.
Brandslam might do something disgusting. No, just leaves, but they just hate Jay, man. They just find him in every instance possible. I think Banny's just spiteful. He's not playing with them, but you know, it's unfortunate for him. It looks like it's gonna. Oh, Exile does want to take two. They're going to get some cap time out. Hopefully they should get it, but it's going to end up being a 6v6. No one on Black Swan in a position to lock them out, and Froyo is all the way in. And it looks like we got some extra sparkles on Hubada's gun. There is a crits creep on the field. A lot of damage. All the low ground for Black Swan. Hint, you do not want that. Jay sinking 4 stickies into the skybox, getting picked off. And this crits will not come to fruition besides the ones you get after you win the round.
No, it probably will not, as Darty is still in a 1v1 with Brandslam behind, but it doesn't matter. There are 2 Froyotech players on the point, no one to defend it, and that is going to be 3-0 for Froyo. And you can definitely see there's these moments where Black Swan are able to clutch something out, whether that's kind of a last hold or get a good opportunity on the mid, but still Froyotech. They're still Froyotech, you know, they haven't changed at all, and it's still very, very difficult for Black Swan to try and get into this game.
You know, the 1-0 might not happen, but I can still 4-3, 50 minutes. bring it home. Bring it home.
Oh.
It's coming home. The entirety of Black Swan, once again, opting for all the low ground in the world. A big
Trip.
bomb coming in from Trip. Another solo one, but Quacks with the follow-up. Banny getting picked off again. Quacks onto Hubada, gets the pick onto Hubada. They're going to trade 3 for 2, but those are the 2 best picks you could possibly get. If I am Black Swan, I am leaving entirely, and it looks like we're going to be able to kind of have an Uber ad opportunity to break into mid here.
Yes, it is going to be now a chance for Black Swan to be the ones aggressing here, as it's going to be all up to someone from Froyotech, probably Laz, to try and get that force out from Foxy. That is, if Black Swan don't just immediately use in as they make their way through Catwalk. Laz over in Kitchen has not been spotted, and it gets the easy rockets on the Foxy to get that force, and that is going to be an Uber used from Black Swan. Not the worst one, considering they did get 3 of Froyotech's players, so it could have been a lot worse for them.
This might be a heartbreaking moment. There is a crits up. I think they realize that Froyo is probably going to be on perma crits for the foreseeable future, because they've ran it the past 3 lives. But honestly, you take 3 for an Uber every day of the week, but I want to see how is Banny going to opt to take this crits in.
Ooh, seems like over in lobby is looking for it. The first crit sticky does come out. Nothing has connected. He finds one onto Darty. Tripwire over in Loader is going to actually get the trade out with Laz, so not the most fruitful crits there ever could have been.
Yeah, and the Uber coming up any second now on the side of Foxy. Bandy getting aggro with some little goofy traps in the lower end window. We'll see if any of these kind of pay off, but getting ready to peek through this saw door. I'm curious to see if they're going to try and milk it or just send it. But with these 2 really late spawners, and Logan is already snuck into Kitchen with no one knowing this happening. Spawners coming up. Logan could have a big flank here, but It looks like they're taking their good old time because they realize that, oh, the trap. Okay, they saw it. But the flank push on the side of Froyo, sending 3 into Saw, Logan into lower, killing Darty behind, and the crits is coming up any second now. They are completely crunched by everything, and this Uber is not going to look great. They don't have any scouts. There's a back cap. There's now a crits up. Everyone's everywhere, and they have got completely outplayed in this situation right now.
They have gotten completely outplayed. Luckily, Foxy might be able to escape. Jay, with that solo Uber, has been able to escort his medic to safety. And so it's not going to be all terrible for Black Swan, but there's still Froyotech with a full crits in their pocket to use at a moment's notice. And as Froyotech come in through lower,
no.
it could be any second now.
The crits coming in, they do get... Actually, they lose the fight, you know. It's they absolutely got crunched. I was worried for a sec that could have been the fattest sticky of all time, but doesn't come out the flash on a brand slam. But there goes Logan with a late death. And let's see if they lock in and get off that crit streak, or they're dying for the bit. They have switched back to Uber Charge. They are terrified.
Well, they might have to be, as Tripwire is in behind. They don't know. Is now in a 1v1 with Laz. Is not going to be able to win that, so that is going to be all of the defenses for Black Swan on mid taken care of as they back up on 2 seconds. Going to be slight advantage, Uber advantage for Froyotech, and yeah, they're just immediately in.
Yeah, at this point, this is old Froyo, you know? They get one pick, and then they just absolutely hold W. Everyone gets their man, and then they win the fight. Getting a lot of damage on these scouts. Quack's coming in late with some damage, spreading it out, almost getting Banny down as well. But they, once again, the most they can get is a trade, which you cannot sustainably win with Hubada at 1 HP. Hubada barely living.
That was so close. A really admirable attempt by, I believe, Tripwire there to try and get that pick onto Hubada, but unfortunately wasn't able to do it. They do have Uber to try and defend, but they drop Exile. That is not what you want to see. Hubada hasn't used it. Now finally does. This can be a much better Uber for Froyotech. They do find one in Laz. Quacks and Logan do trade out, so not the worst case scenario. Brand Slam super weak. If they get this kill, it might be doable for them. No scouts to really try and play the point, and Froyotech probably going to have to back out here. Can Banny get a trade? Oh my god, lands a pipe onto Foxy. Is not going to be able to get the trade. Hubada should be able to get out to safety. Patty is just drawing so many people in behind. Not going to be able to get a trade himself, but very good hold from Black Swan there. It was looking like another round for Froyotech.
Not going to say that Heavy was kind of making moves, just surfed onto the truck, living. Kind of impressive. Exactly even Ubers here. Patty down, and honestly, they're actually going for it, which I really respect, but they get absolutely blown up in the door, and they're going to continue.
Oh,
never mind. Hubada down. Trip getting another kill, and it looks like they're going to have some player ad, but what's been happening is the chaos of Froyo has been absolutely biting them in the butt. 2 players on Froyo pushing behind. Patty in on the flank. A lot of damage. Nice air pipe from Jay. But it looks like they're going to stabilize.
They are going to stabilize, recognizing that Froyotech were going for a type of flank shove and went back to face them there. They did lose their demo, but they are going to still have enough advantage to wait for him to respawn and then push in with his assistance if they so choose to make that their game plan. It does allow Froyotech to get their defenses set up on middle, and you can already assume that Laz or Logan are going to try and go for some type of wacky play to unsettle Black Swan, as it seems like they want to try and take this in through Saw.
Yeah, and we'll see how this Uber goes, and it looks like they just want to get this point. They pop in, and they're not going to end up getting much of anything. Quack's getting really aggro into Saw, but the rest of the team chilling out, and it looks like we're going to see a counter Uber any second now, and it's going to be on these soldiers. Froyo has had the luxury of being able to walk through any doors. Just with the threat of Ubering, you need to kind of keep them in check and get a force, but they're playing for more of a flank play. 2 players coming through kitchen. They are going to get Laz down and 2 behind, which is a great opening for this fight.
It is a really great opening, as everyone else on Froyotech have to try and come back to take care of these 2 players. They do take care of one. Darty still alive, buying a bit of time for his team, as now here comes Quacks dropping out through the window. Does do a little bit of damage to the combo over and lower, but not enough, and Jay might be caught out now. Is going to be able to surf to safety. Does stay alive somehow. Really great surf from him, but Froyotech still on the chase. Brand Slam immediately walking in, wants to take this Uber, is going to do so, but has bought enough time for Black Swan to get their own. It's going to be an Uber trade over by Saw. It's going to be Hubba just juggled around. Patty just jumping in willy-nilly. It's going to be taken down over and lower. That's also another, but Laz with the fadeaway rocket is going to get the crucial kill on the Foxy. Now it's got to be all in onto Hubba. Can they find their man? Hubba just backing up. It's only going to be Grand Slam, the last one, to try and keep his medic alive. Is not going to do so. And Hubba, this is going to be a very late death.
Absolute crunch from the side of Black Swan. Jay just absolutely feeding his brains unless he's making moves. He died 5 seconds later and they got a trade off of it.
They do get the trade. Exile, he's still in. He does not care. He's happy to take this 2v1. Now Tripwire is going to commit off that damage. Might get the kill. Oh, good serve from Banny to stay alive there. Admirable attempt from Tripwire. Darty is now in, running in behind. And this time it's Black Swan, the ones that are just always going in.
Banny just typed stop in chat after the Tripwire solo bomb. And, you know, not approving of it. And it looks like they're going to end up sending more players in to help Darty with the flank, and nothing is going to come of that besides Banny dying, and Banny is going to type feed theory, which I can't disagree with at the moment, as Trip goes into die once again, completely alone. You hate to see it.
You do hate to see it, but to be fair, they did get a bit of ground with that feed theory. They also lost a little bit of ground with that feed theory. So nothing gained, maybe nothing lost. We'll have to see how good this Froyotech Uber is, as they are going to take it in through Saw. Not too many people in play on Black Swan to try and force it out. This should be pretty easy ground for Froyotech, and they do take that second point. Brand Slam already in lobby trying to scope things out, but I don't think they're going to be able to take this, as now Black Swan do have their Uber. So it is going to be even Ubers, but immediately Froyotech are in, trying to go for a sack. Brand Slam does die last, might fall as well. No's going to be able to get out, and they find a trade on the Tripwire immediately. Logan might find one on the Exile coming in from behind. That's going to be another trade.
Yeah, once again, every time someone on Froyo dies, someone on Black Swan dies as well. Big bomb coming from Laz, and we're going to sacrifice not getting the trade for getting an Uber Force, which, as history has shown, last holds do not happen, but we have discovered a new piece of technology. It is hitting comma and hitting 6. They now have a sentry gun. I've never seen this gun for a last hold. It is going to take approximately 20 seconds to get ammo to build the next level of this gun. But there is a level 2 gun and lower, and Exile is dead.
That is not good. That puts them a man down their pocket. Scout.
I don't think this gun shoots point. It's not even, I don't think they're even going to realize it's a gun here. Oh, no, they do.
They do, and they do take it down. Grand Slam with the pistol snipes, and they just have so much cap time onto the point. Tripwire does find a nice pick onto Logan, but is going to die trying to defend the point. That is going to be 4-0 for Froyotech. And the reverse comeback, the 5-0 reverse sweep is still possible.
I have a conspiracy theory, you know?
Okay.
What if Ether just said they were busy? Just to like not play tonight, you know? They're just like, not feeling well right now, you know? Jay, you got this one, buddy. See y'all on Saturday.
Ether is in the Twitch chat right now, just watching instead. But we are going to see.
Just loving it.
Oh no!
Oh my god! Foxy just killed us.
Listen, you know, that's what Ether missed out on, as Froyotech, they capture up mid.
I blinked and there were 4 players gone, and Foxy had enough. Oh
my god, wait, it's not over. It's not over. Exile with a huge headshot to scrap everything we just said. This game is still here. They have an opportunity. Exile just clutching it out. And they want to try and fight it. You know, respect if they do, because, you know, once you start playing not to win, then you are 100% going to lose. As Hubba type scoreboard, that's a Froyo.
Exile goes nice one hub, and then he just drops the scoreboard, and Exile just says disgrace. It's like y'all haven't even gotten like close to a round yet. I feel like you shouldn't be typing in the chat, but you know. Oh, Ether is in chat, watching this display of a game, and it looks like we're once again gonna have this gun up, and it's going to be. In the normal spot here.
Okay.
We might be in for a 50-minute 5-0 this way.
Good.
Let's see if they can hold last. Froyo notoriously going to absolutely punish teams that cannot hold this point correctly. And I think previously in a match with the Wall, they were not holding this point correctly, and they just got blown up in a second. But Brandstein getting picked off here. Some damage onto the gun. The gun is dead, but with one player down, it's going to turn into Laz and Patty probably trying to make a play. Laz in, shoots 2 rockets, doesn't get anything. Gun gets built up, kills him. Once again, another soldier kills Darty somehow, and dies to the gun. All right.
Well, that is going to be good defense from Black Swan. There was another, actually, it wasn't a reverse 5-0, but it was a reverse 4-0, I believe, on Snakewater earlier this season, and it did involve Black Swan. They were the team that I think got reverse 4-0'd, but this time maybe they can do the reverse 5-0.
Maybe they watched the demo. Hubba dies to trip a drop.
What?
Don't know what's happening. I think the PayPal transaction must have hit. That is back-to-back situations where Hubba is no longer with us in this world, and Patty is on Sniper.
Interesting. Well, there's an opportunity for Patty to return the favor as Black Swan try to push out. If Patty can get a very crucial headshot, as it seems like they just want to use, and so that opportunity is not going to give itself to Patty. He dives over and lower. They find another pick onto Lasso. 2 picks. They get the point. Pretty good Uber, all things considered, for Black Swan. They did lose Tripway in that, though.
How did Trip even die?
I think it was a trap from Benny.
I know, but I'm looking around the map to find it, but it looks like Scout's going into Saw to fight Banny. Quack's instantly getting the bad side of that fight, and 3 players down on the side of Black Swan. We're going back to last with Uber Disad this time.
That was a kind of a mirror of the mid. It just seemed like in an instant everyone on Black Swan did perish. There is Kritzkrieg again on Froyotech, so they're probably not expecting this.
That's the one thing you got to respect about what Shade did back in the day. No matter what happened, Shade stayed on that crits. They switched off, and then now they start feeling a little comfortable, switch back on. Don't know how I feel about that. Crits killing the gun, and that, oh my god, a double sync crit sneaky kills Quack. And the Uber's gonna come out, Foxy surfing into the entire other team. Oh, Darty getting cleaned up as a result.
Darty getting cleaned up. Patty still alive, is going to go for a late play onto the medic, but I don't think it matters too much. Foxy actually nice surf to stay alive from.
There were some schmoves there.
Yeah, there was some schmoves, but not enough schmovement to keep her team in this series. That's going to be a second 5-0 from Froyotech, and they are going to be advancing into the upper bracket final, I believe. Whereas Black Swan are going to be going into the lower bracket, where they will face off against the loser of the Chuds versus the Wall. Froyotech playing the winner. And you might be saying, oh, when is that game going to happen? It's happening tomorrow. That's right. We thought it was happening on Saturday. JK, it's happening tomorrow. So if you're ready for more TF2 action, good news. You don't have to wait that long.
And that's going to be exciting. I think this is your first time watching, you haven't seen the season, that game should be closer. Letting you know, tune in tomorrow and you'll see hopefully a good demonstration of back and forth. If it is another 5-0, I apologize. But I'm expecting some things to happen there.
Yes, I am also expecting some things to happen. Those teams have been very, very close, very back and forth throughout the season. I think they're actually even on maps 1 apiece against each other. So hopefully should be a really, really great game. Otherwise, looking at this Snakewater game, you do have to say it was a better showing from Black Swan. They seemed a bit more confident on the mids, had a bit better of a game plan, and they did have some moments. There were some longer rounds, and there's some fights that actually went their way. They had their share of hero moments, getting onto Hubba those couple of times and being able to pull out some kind of nice desperation moves when it mattered. But just at the end of the day, Froyotech, they didn't need the desperation moves. They just had the better game plan, better overall combat going into this, and they walk away your victors tonight.
Well, haters will say otherwise, but if it went to map 3, Black Swan 1-0 in an hour. That's all I'm saying. No, we won't know. We won't know what would have happened, but I know what would have happened.
Exactly. You know what would have happened. We all know what would have happened. But
Everyone's too scared to admit it. I understand.
That's all right. That's all right. We're not ready for that type of display, not just yet. But fortunately for Black Swan, they have another chance of giving us that display of power as they're knocked out, or not knocked out just quite yet. They've got at least one more game on their hands, but we've got the second upper bracket game tomorrow night. As we did say, it should be a little bit closer. Otherwise, this has been Froyotech versus Black Swan. 5-0, 5-0 in the favor of Froyotech, 10-0 in total. Marmalou, do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give?
You know, I saw Mirror Man Tyler, you know, in the chat. Shout out to him. Shout out to Sandblast. Shout out to Jay, you know, filling in, getting the beating trademark, you know. But overall, shout out to my girlfriend. Shout out to TC producing chat. How about you? What you got?
I will definitely say shout out to the teams for playing. Shout outs to all you guys for watching. Shout outs to Dolphin for all the work that he does behind the scenes, getting everything organized and getting us all up to speed and what's happening. Shout outs to you as well, Marmalou. And shout outs to the lovely, lovely merch we have on display at the RGL shop. Buy it, wear it, show up to LAN in it. There is an upcoming LAN in the summer, so you can definitely show up with your RGL goodies and rock out, be dripped out, so to speak. Jamond would give you a 10 out of 10 in your drip score. I already know it. But aside from that, that has been it for us tonight. Check back tomorrow for the Wall versus the Chuz. Should hopefully be a really great game, but otherwise, hope you have a good night. We'll see you then.